And if the clinic or the hospital doesn't have those "you are here" arrows along the way in the halls, fear not, the doctors do. September comes and you are here, you are at the point where it's flu shot time and you will be asked if you want a flu shot, encouraged to get a flu shot. College age rolls around, meningitis vaccination. 50 years on the clock, and the arrow points to, have we got a series of tests for you? You are here. For all its clarity in reality, it is just a starter answer. The more important question, the more important answer is the answer to why are you here? Why are you at worship today? Some of you came to pick up pies, some of you maybe heard about the caramel rolls, but likely it goes beyond that. When you pause for lunch this Sunday after worship, what is God going to still be hoping for you or asking of you? In the midst of deadlines and grocery lines, billboard signs, and that one neighbor who always whines. When the sun shines and the storms incline our minds to worry and fret, why are we here? The Message translation of the words Holly read this morning has a rather apt paraphrase. The paraphrase begins, Jesus said, "Let me tell you why you are here." It is telling where Jesus, "Let me tell you why you are here," teaching appears. It appears on the heels of the Beatitudes. If I asked you what the most important task of Grace United Methodist Church was right now in the history of this congregation, likely as we began to talk, we would talk about attracting new members, growing, of paying our bills, of getting youth. It would be tempting to take it even a step further and boil it down to what we could call marketing plans, if we wanted to be a bit crass about it. But Jesus says, "Let me tell you why you are here." Immediately following the Beatitudes, immediately following these blessings, Jesus says to the people, "Let me tell you why you are here." And he began speaking of how he is calling the church, his followers, to be blessing for others. They are our clue. Our purpose isn't to attract people, though blessings might be attractive. It is to figure out how to go out and be blessings to others. I had a lesson for the women's circle this past week, one of the women's circles. And after reading the words of a pastor who talked about being with a man who had just suddenly lost his wife, a middle-aged man, being with him in his tears and listening to his memories and his hurt, we began to share with one another, not by name, just by writing down situations we knew of people who might be weeping or who were at least hurting. And we took those names, those papers, we folded them up, we put them in a communion cup. Because really, we do commune around our hurts as well as our joys. And then we took them out one by one, and we read the situations, and we lifted the situations up in prayer. We lifted the people up in prayer. We didn't know their names. God certainly knew their names and who they were, and that's what matters. As the body of Christ, we are like that communion cup. We are the ones who hold others in our hearts. We are the ones who try to pour out our lives like Jesus poured out his blood. Our needs are coursing through Jesus' veins. Today we hear the prophet, and he is responding to the people who are asking in the midst of their struggles, why do we fast? We're doing what we've been asked to do, and still we are finding ourselves struggling. Still we are finding that our prayers aren't answered. Still we are finding that we hurt and feel alone. Why aren't we blessed? Why aren't we growing? And Isaiah portrays God. And Isaiah portrays God's people. God's people he portrays as being focused on themselves. God, he portrays this way. Says Isaiah, God says, this is the fast I am after. To break the chains of injustice, to get rid of exploitation in the workplace, to free the oppressed, to cancel debts. What I'm interested in seeing you do is sharing your food with the hungry, inviting the homeless poor into your homes, putting clothes on the shivering and ill-clad, being available to your own families. Do this and the lights will turn on and your lives will turn around immediately. Your righteousness will pave your way and the God of glory will secure your passage in this life and into the next. Then you will pray and God will answer. You'll call out for God and God will say, here I am. Isaiah says God is calling the faithful to turn their lives, their vision out beyond themselves, to change the world instead of meeting their own needs. So it is, I invite you to mark your calendars for April 26th. You maybe don't have them along, but you'll be hearing more about this as time goes on. April 26th, all of the United Methodists in the Fargo, Moorhead, Castleton area, West Fargo, are going to be invited on a journey together. A journey of going out into the community to work with organizations that are doing good for others. We may even be building some stoves, some solar ovens for Haiti in this community. But it's not just for United Methodists. We'll be encouraging everyone to invite a friend, to invite someone else along on the journey. The churches, through the pastors in this community, the United Methodist pastors, have received a grant. And it's a large grant. It will cover billboards, it will cover radio advertising, it will cover TV advertising, it will cover newspaper advertising, and be working with us to tell the community that it is important to reach out and care for one another. And they found in other communities where they've done this, that places like Home Depot, Target, other organizations see this. And they say to their employees who are already encouraged to volunteer, you know, here's a spot you could go volunteer. And they find that usually other groups of people start partnering with the churches, doing good for the community. Our hope is that this will be just the first year of this happening for a number of years in a row. It kind of goes with John Wesley's motto of doing all the good we can. And our hope is that by doing all the good we can, we not only help others, we find these people who say, there's what I believe Jesus is calling us to do. I'll walk alongside them. I'll walk with them. I want to be part of this. Jesus says to us today, let me tell you why you are here. You are the salt of the earth. If salt has lost its saltiness, it is no good, but you and I are it. So let's keep the saltiness. We are the only salt there is. And it's important to sprinkle ourselves into the world before we go stale. Jesus says you are the light of the world. You are the only light there is, and if you hide that light, how will the world see all the beautiful colors and all the beauty in this God-created place? Our thought for the day at Wednesday's Women's Circle is this. There comes a point in time when we cease to come to church to meet our own needs. We gather instead seeking to learn how to be Christ's hands of healing, God's ears of understanding, the Spirit's whisper of compassion for others. You and I are here because we are the salt of the earth. And we are the light of the world. We are Christ's body. Season the world with light